Congratulations! Your hard work and perseverance have contributed to you being able to display a deep understanding of the current topics covered in class. You're a math master of this concept. I believe you're ready to learn the next things. You are among the few invited to participate in the learning of upper level concepts which go beyond what will be taught in class and in this grade level. It just builds upon what you've already been learning. Now, there's no obligation to do this, and you will not be penalized for not participating. Your only reward for its completion will be the extra credit in the gradebook and the value this excelled learning will have on your growing mind. Now, let's get started. The topic is mean, median, mode, and range. The essential question: how do you find the mean, median, mode, and range of a set of data? So you'll see right here that we've got to find the mean, median, mode, and range, otherwise known as measures of central tendency, using this set of data, 2, 5, 2, 1, and 5. Well, for starters, I want us to learn how to find the mean of a set of data. And just like it says right here, all you've got to do is add all the numbers together, and then you're going to divide that sum by how many numbers were in the data set. So when we add 2 plus 5 plus 2 plus 1 plus 5, we get 15. And now we've got to divide that sum by how many numbers that are in the data set. So we're going to take 15 and divide it by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We get the mean of this set of data is 3. I need to show you right now a mistake that people commonly do when they're finding the mean and they're using a calculator. You'll see here that they go to type in the numbers within the data set, and then they remember, oh yeah, I've got to add them all together and then divide by how many there are. So see, the last number I typed in there was the 5. What they do is they take that and they divide it by, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When I do that, you're going to see that the only thing that gets divided by 5 in this set of data is that 5. So when I press equal, they would get that the mean is 11. So when you're doing this in the future, make sure you're adding everything together, pressing equals, and then dividing by how many numbers were in the data set. So I think most of you know me by now, and you know that I come up with silly ways to remember things in math. And I did that with these as well. So I want you to know that sometimes the mean is called the average. And to remember that those two are associated with each other, you might be thinking the average person is mean. So the next measure of central tendency that I want to talk about is the median. And the instructions say to find the median, you've got to order the numbers from least to greatest. So let's go ahead and do that first. After you've ordered them from least to greatest, you're going to find the middle number. So when I find the median, I just use my fingers and I just kind of go inward until I get to the middle. And you'll see that the median of this set of data is 2. Okay, so right now, I want you to place a star right here and underline this sentence right here because it's super important. If there's 2 middle numbers in your set of data, when you get down to the 2 middle numbers, you're going to add them together and then divide by 2. That number that you get after you add them together and divide by 2, that would be the median in the set of data where you have 2 middle numbers. So here's a silly way to remember that the median is the middle number. You'll see that the D's in the words median and middle, they're like in the middle of the word. So that helps me remember that median is the middle number. And again, if there's 2 middle numbers, you add them together and then divide by 2. And that would be your median. Now, another way you can use to remember that median means in the middle is think of the median in the road. The median in the road is the middle. Okay, the next measure of central tendency that we're going to talk about is the mode. To find the mode, it's just the number that occurs the most often. So when looking at this data set right here, I see that we have the number 2 written twice. And we also have the number 5 written twice. So therefore, in this particular set of data, the mode is both 2 and 5. And did you know that there could also be no mode? For example, if in this set of data I included another number 1, you would see that all the numbers are tied. There'd be 2 1s, 2 2s, and 2 5s. If that was the case, then you would write no mode for the mode. All right, so here's my way to remember this. I think of the O's in mode, most, and often. And now we're going to talk about range. To find the range of a set of data, you've just got to order the numbers from least to greatest. Then you're going to take your highest number and subtract your lowest number. That gives you the range. So check out our set of data here. It's ordered from least to greatest. 5 is the greatest in this set of data. And then we're going to subtract 1, which is the lowest number in the set of data. 5 take away 1 is 4. So the range of this set of data is 4. So now here's a way that you can use to remember that the range is just the distance between. Think of like an archery range or a shooting range. You're going to shoot your arrows from right here and you're going to try to hit the target. That distance between right there, that's the range. Okay, so now we're going to finish this first page with a poem. I want you to fill in the blanks. Hey diddle diddle, the blank is in the middle. You add and then divide for the blank. The blank is the one that appears the most, and the blank is the distance between. Okay, so finding the mean, median, mode, and range might be review for some of you. Where it gets a little bit more complicated is where you've got to extract the data in order to find the mean, median, mode, and range. Like this example here. A study was done on families that have 4 children. The table shows the number of families in the study with the indicated number of boys. You're going to determine the mean, median, mode, and range of this set of data. So you're going to see we have to be able to interpret this table before we can even get the numbers in our data set. Let's start with the word frequency. Frequency means how many times something happened. So for example, in this column right here, this shows that 3 families have 2 boys. So now that we're a little bit more familiar with the table right here, we've got to extract our numbers in order to come up with our data set. So you're going to see that 2 families had 0 boys. So I need to write that down right here. Now we've got 4 families had 1 boy. Next up, we've got 3 families that had 2 boys. 4 families had 3 boys. And 5 families had 4 boys. Okay, now using this data set, you've got to find the mean of this set of data. All right, when you added up all the numbers in this data set, you should have gotten 42. But in order to find the mean of the set of data, you've got to take that 42 and divide it by the number of numbers in the data set. And you'll see that there are 18 numbers within this data set. So that's what we're going to divide by. I'm going to go ahead and simplify this fraction. So a number that goes in both 42 and 18 nicely is 6. So I'll divide the numerator by 6 as well as the denominator. 42 divided by 6 is 7, and 18 divided by 6 is 3. So I can write down 7/3 is the mean of this set of data. I can also turn these improper fractions into their equivalent mixed number. 3 fits into 7 without going over. It goes twice. We're going to keep the same denominator. And 3 times 2 is 6. It takes 1 more to get to 7. So I could have also written this mean as 2 1/3. Or if you're a person that really likes decimals, you would know that when you take 42 divided by 18 or 7 divided by 3, you would get 2 3/10 repeating forever. Okay, now you've got to find the median of this set of data. Well, I noticed when I was finding the median of this set of data that both 2 and 3 are the middle numbers. So when you have 2 numbers that are the middle numbers, when you're trying to find the median, you've got to add them together and divide them by 2. 2 plus 3 is equal to 5, and I've got to take that 5 and divide it by 2, and that'll give me 2 5/10. You could also write that as its equivalent mixed number or its equivalent improper fraction. Okay, now you're going to find the mode of this set of data. When I was looking for the mode of this set of data, I just looked at the frequency. I see that there were 5 families that have 4 boys. So I know that 4 is going to be my mode in this set of data. Now go ahead and find the range of this set of data. So the highest number in this set of data is 4, and the lowest number in this set of data is 0. So 4 take away 0 is 4. The range of this set of data is 4. Okay, so this last question asks, how many girls were there total? And when you look at this table, you're just going to see that they only accounted for the number of boys. But you've got to remember that the study was done on families that have 4 children. So if they're not listed as a boy on here, then they're going to be counted as a girl. So I want you to right now go ahead and find how many girls were there total within this study. All right, to help you configure how many girls there were total within this study, let's look back at this data. You'll see that we had 2 families that had 0 boys. Well, if they had 0 boys and this study surveyed families of 4 children, then we would know that these 2 families
they each had 4 girls. So that's what I'm going to write down right here. These next families, you'll see that they each had 1 boy. So if they each had 1 boy, then that would mean that this family has 3 girls, this family has 3 girls, this family has 3 girls, and this family has 3 girls. So that's what I'm going to write down right here. Now, next up, we've got these families right here that have 2 boys. So if they have 2 boys and they have 4 children, that means the other 2 children are going to be girls. Now, check out these families right here that have 3 boys. Well, if they have 3 boys, and this study was done on families that have 4 children, that would mean that they each have 1 girl in their family. And take a look at this last set of families. They have 4 boys, and since the study was done on families with 4 children, that would mean that each of these families have 0 girls. Now, to calculate how many girls there were in total, you just add all of these amounts of girls together, and you would end up with 30 girls.